natural motion for most people, whether you're going your strong side or you're going cross dominant or, you know, a cross draw, because that's a more natural motion for you. I have these, it doesn't go very well that way. So again, it's a comfort thing. It's where you're comfortable at. So on the waistband, you can go inside the waistband, outside the waistband. There are multiple forms of holsters for both. You can go with or without retention straps, or with or without retention systems. You can go with a sleeve with a single point. You can go with something as basic as, if I can get it unclipped, a soft-sided nylon holster with a single clip. Gives you a lot of versatility as far as where you can put it. You can move it around, you can carry it appendix, you can carry it on your hip, you can kick it to the back. It gives you a lot of versatility with how you're carrying. These run about $12, so if you're just trying to figure out where you want to carry, it's a good starting point. It's ultimately not something I would recommend for daily carry, but it is a good starting point or a backup. I have several of these just as a in-case situation. I guess I should put these up here. You can also, I'm sorry?
That's number one.
That's one. You can also go to what I would recommend more so is a leather holster, whether it be molded or generically sized for your firearm. Leather's going to give you a lot more stability. It's going to last, and structure. It's going to last longer in the long run. And it kind of works, if it's a non-molded holster, it kind of works like a leather shoe. The longer your gun's in it, the more it's in and out, it's going to kind of mold itself around that gun, and it gives you a lot more structure and a lot more stability out of a holster versus a soft-sided nylon. Those are available in a single point attachment or a double. This is my daily carry. This is how I carry my 642 every single day, is in a Galco King Tuck.
Come on, turn around.
I'm turning. And that's right here. It looks like a lot of holster and it looks like a lot of gun. I wear it every single day. And even when I'm not trying to conceal it, it conceals pretty easily.
It's on the outside of the pants or inside?
It's worn inside the pants.
Don't get sweaty from it?
It's got a really nice paddle on the back. It'll get warm, and it is leather, so I'm not saying there won't be some moisture in there, but it's designed to be worn against the skin if necessary. This is actually a perfect example of a holster that was designed for a man. This holster is designed for men to be worn back pocket area, because most men keep their wallet in their back pocket. So when someone comes up and says, "Give me your wallet," and you reach back for that, it's not a natural motion, you come out with a firearm instead. So again, designed for men, but when I was playing with holsters and toying and figuring out and building my drawer full of holsters, this ended up being the absolute most comfortable way for me to carry on a regular basis. I can get in and out of my car. I'm up and down ladders, I'm climbing boxes, you know, everything here daily. I have fallen asleep with this thing on before. And once I'm asleep, I'm a heavy sleeper, but to get there it's hard, so it's not an easy thing. So this is another inside the waistband option. You can go outside the waistband. Outside the waistband is probably better in our environment for us for a winter scenario. When you have more clothes, you've got a jacket over it, because that creates a lot of bulk. I did not wear an outside the waistband holster. I have a hard time concealing them, so I have a hard time pushing them. But it is entirely up to you, again, how you dress, what you're comfortable with, what you're trying to conceal, and what you do with your daily life. So waistband is your first and foremost. Then you have undergarment. I'm going to talk about the Thunderwear first. It's a funny name, and Becky and I were actually talking about this the other day. I did not really see the practicality of them when I was checking them out and trying to figure out what under jeans, and that just like your bulge. I don't know. I just didn't. And Becky made a good point for people, let's go with in the medical industry, who wear scrubs, and you don't necessarily have a stable waistline or enough support to hold up any kind of weight. The Thunderwear actually wrap around underneath what you're wearing. They attach securely over your hips, and then there's a separate pouch in the front that holds your firearm. So if you have an elastic type waistband, it's very easy to get into, and you're not putting the stress and strain on your actual bottom half of clothing. It's separate. Then you have compression shorts, compression shirts, and belly bands and underwraps. These kind of go into the undergarment as far as I'm concerned. They're the same category. Compression shirts usually have a pocket under each arm, about armpit area, where you can tuck those into. Shorts is usually about where I had the revolver. It sits right on the back side. And they're just an incredibly, incredibly tight spandex that holds everything in place on top of holding your gun in place. I've never played with the compression shirts before. I've played with the compression shorts. I actually considered wearing a pair with my gun under my wedding dress here in a couple weeks. But I just have way too much going on, so that's not gonna happen. So, but those are an option. Under Armour actually makes some you can look into. And then you have belly bands and under wraps. Belly bands give you a little bit of versatility because you can carry both sides. You don't have to. I mean, I don't expect everybody to be out there, doing one of these numbers, but it gives you the option of carrying if you're right or left-handed, strong side, weak side, whatever you want to do. This is also a really good example of showing you what you're capable of concealing. This is a Springfield Armour EMP. This is a pretty heavy gun as far as what you would consider for a concealed carry gun. It's basically a miniature 1911 in 9mm. Most people would look at this when they have that ideal of a CCW gun and look, and that's too big, that's not going to fit in my pocket, or that's too much in my purse, but it can very easily be concealed. And to give you an even better idea of that, this is a full-size steel frame 1911 in 45 ACP. This is one of those guns that even the biggest, burliest guys look at and go, there's no way you can conceal that. David conceals one every single day. He's not a big guy, and I'm talking under a t-shirt. under a t-shirt. And I was always a naysayer of it. I always said there's no way I could conceal a full-size 1911, but with the proper holster and being conscious of how you dress, it can be done. So we're up to 4. Okay. So now we're done with undergarments. We've hit fanny packs, belly bands. You have pocket. So if you do need to go to that little teeny tiny firearm, for whatever reason, maybe it's a gun you shoot very well, you're just more comfortable with a small frame gun because that's just what works for you, you can go to pocket. So then you have your front pocket option. And generally how these work is the holster stays in the pocket, the gun comes out. You don't want to pull the whole thing out. They're designed to stick into your pocket. But again, you still want it in a holster. You're still protecting the integrity of the trigger while it's in your pocket and also keeping all that nasty pocket stuff out of your gun. You can also go back pocket. Women don't generally carry a wallet in their back pocket. However, this is a SIG P238 in 380. It's a metal frame gun. It's a little heavier. It's a little gun, but it's not the littlest gun. Women don't generally carry a wallet in their back pocket, but as far as this goes in a back pocket, nobody needs to know it's a wallet. It's a cell phone. It's a PDA. It's a ginormous iPod. It's a tumor. It's a whatever. Nobody needs to know what it is. You can't tell what it is, and it's back there. So there's another one. So now we're up to 6. Then you can look into ankle and thigh. Ankle and thigh is a thigh holster I would recommend if you're wearing dresses or skirts a lot. I mean, that would be an option for that. Don't go with those really cutesy wootsy, they look like garters and yada yada. Those are garbage. I'm going to tell you right now, there's not one out there that will hold up any firearm. And if there is, I want to know about it because I want to own one. But an actual thigh rig that either attaches around the waist for support and then attaches around your thigh, or has an upper and lower thigh attachment, those can work. And they can work under very short skirts, dresses, long dresses, whatever it is that you need to wear for whatever occasion. So that's a good option for those, when you don't dress like you normally dress, or if it is how you regularly dress. It's an option for you when you don't have a pant line to attach to. Ankle is another option. For everyday carry, I don't personally recommend ankle because it's an awkward place to get to. If I was standing here right now and somebody came in that door, that means I would have to drop down to my knee, get my pant up, and pull out my gun. Now, it can be done. It requires a little more training. If you're sitting in a car, if you drive for a living, sitting and reaching down there is a lot more natural. If you're sitting in an office or at a desk all day, sitting and reaching down is a lot more natural. Again, depends on your situation, but it can be done. Most good ankle holsters will have 2 retention systems as far as attachment. They will have an upper calf and a lower calf. I can get it off. Good Lord. Gotta find a tab for the Velcro. They will have an upper calf and a lower calf attachment. They will also have some sort of retention because there's a lot of jiggling around going on when you walk. So they will have a retention, whether it's snapping in because it's molded or a strap that holds it in. You want retention on a firearm if you're going to carry it on your ankle. So that's another one. We're up to what?
7.
Now, I was going to try, and I didn't get the option, I didn't have time to do it. I have been intrigued by the bra holster, flashbang. It's one that's advertised very much on the Well-Armed Woman. It is a holster that was designed for women, so it's actually a unique concept. I've been very intrigued by it. I've seen videos on it. It seems to work in theory. I just don't trust anything that I can't personally play with. I ran out of time to order one in to get one in here, so I do plan on doing that and having one if anybody wants to play with it or look at it and actually physically see it other than just a video. But that is an option. I've also seen just pocket holsters or a very basic holster with a clip used that way. Again, the size of the gun is going to depend on, how you dress, how you're built, what you're comfortable with. But that's one of those ones that you're really going to have to play with. I would have a hard time ordering one of those online and just start carrying it. You're really going to have to play with that and know what you're getting into with that one. And then you always have backup options, which aren't necessarily your absolute best case scenario. They're not incredibly practical ways of carrying or types of firearms to carry. But again, in a must-have situation where your option is either carry or don't, you do have some backup options. So you can always go into your boot. I wear boots a lot, not in the summertime. I don't like my toes being all confined, but in the fall and winter I wear boots a lot. Again, it's in a holster, and if this was the absolute only place I could find to carry, I didn't have a purse, I don't own a thigh rig to wear under my dress, but I have a really cute pair of boots that I'm wearing with it, it's there if you absolutely have to have it. And then this one I get a lot of grief for because it's not practical at all in any sense of the term. But I wear this one when I run, especially in the summertime, and it's 110 degrees outside. Oh my God. And you've got a tiny pair of shorts on, or a tank top, or whatever, and it's very, very, very hard to conceal. It's not a caliber I would recommend. It's not a firearm I would necessarily recommend. But again, it's better than having nothing. This actually holds 5 shots. It's a 22. And I wear it around my neck and I tuck it down in my tank top when I run in the summer. It's better than having nothing. Worst case scenario for me to you, and you were coming at me and I got one of these off in your face, it's going to give me time to turn around and run the other direction. And maybe give me a little bit of a heads up. Or if I'm running and I have a dog come after me, because normally what I have is 22 shot shells that carries multiple projectiles, so you get a pepper effect. There are multiple situations where having something is better than having nothing. That's my theory. It's entirely up to you with what you're comfortable carrying. So, for anybody who was counting, that was 9. 9. Did anybody guess 9?
That's it?
Get out of here. You guess 9? You guess 9?
Are you done?
I'm done. You're done. That's all I got. I seriously, with all that weight and those guns on my sides, I felt like a linebacker. Like the Bears got rid of Brian Urlacher and they totally could have recruited me because I had enough weight to throw around.